What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with J Money and friends. We got Junior today. We got my guy at Shark in Sports as well. Make sure you guys go and follow him on Twitter. I know Junior's handles at Junior Brown 21. Then my guy at Shark in Sports. Go and follow us, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, retweet on Twitter, all that good stuff, man. Just trying to grow the show. Just trying to get as many people to watch as well. Trying to make some money for you guys as well, man. What's up with you, Junior? We hadn't seen you in a while, my brother. Everything cool with you? I like the shirt.
Yeah. People keep asking me. They're like, "Yo, you're not doing the show no more." The show has changed, but the only thing I can say that hasn't changed is the love, which is why I'm rocking the Smack City jersey, repping my boy Jay Money. It's always been love with us. I love working with him, and I'll continue to work with him. However, I got to do it wherever I got to do it. Glad to have my guy Shark on here too, because it's been way too long since we've worked together. I'll always work with people with positive vibes and whose opinion I respect. So to answer that question, here I am. What's good?
My guy. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool?
Absolutely. A little before noon. Welcome to the chat, people. I see somebody said we're a little early. We are early. It's all business. We're rushing to the matter. We want to talk about it. It is October 20th, 2021, the first big card of the year. Of course, last night, doubleheader. I was fortunate to cash. Jay was not. But you know what? That doesn't matter. As Junior said, positive vibes only. We want to dominate. We have hundreds of plays all year. One play does not define greatness or weakness. And we're here in the present. And Jay, where do you want to begin on this beautiful winning Wednesday?
Well, we got Junior for a limited time here, so I just want to go to Junior here and see if you got a look. Like I said, I mean, we could go down the slate. First game up is Pacers versus Hornets. But Junior, is there any? Do you want to talk about this Pacers versus Hornets spot? Just a little breakdown, or do you want to go with top play, my guy?
Now let's. I'm riding with y'all. So if that's how we're gonna get started off, I'm not on this game personally because I want to see what version of what Rick Carlisle's Pacers look like. Because me personally, I don't think that he's going to come in with the same mentality that the previous coaches have come in with. He's first of all, it to me, even though his record might not have shown it, Rick Carlisle is a top 5 to 10, no worse than between 5 and 10 in the NBA. He's a guy who's won a championship as a player, won a championship as a coach. One of the few old school guys left. I'm not sure if that's a good thing because that kind of seemed to get him in trouble with Luka. But at the same time, if you look at Indiana's roster, that might be the kind of guy they need to break up some of the what's the word I'm looking for? In Indiana, they've been doing the same thing for years and it's not working. And I think Rick Carlisle is an Indiana guy. We already know that. So he's going to be welcome there. He's going to change that culture. Not too sure what to make of Charlotte, too. People might be a little bit too gassed on them. We'll see how they look with roster turnover, but interested to hear you guys' opinion on this game.
What you think about this one, Short?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. I mean, I think the hire is extremely interesting, really. Anytime you reboot an old coach, I mean, the one that came to mind was not just like NBA, it was John Gruden. Obviously, it did not end up well. You can't necessarily correlate the two out of the two different sports, but I mean, Rick Carlisle back in 2004, I mean, you guys watched Malice at the Palace. He was the head coach, and that team was loaded, and they were ready to go to the NBA Finals. So I think from a reboot standpoint, it's not entirely a bad thing to bring that energy back into the building. The last time the Pacers were really official, Rick Carlisle was the head coach. And I think the Luka thing is a little bit different. Obviously, a young Euro player. You come in here and you look at what happened last year with the Pacers. They were just absolutely abysmal on the defensive end. We talked about it all year. Bjorkgren and the boys wanted to play this up-tempo, analytics-style game, and it just completely backfired. The roster completely undervalued themselves. They played awful basketball the entire season. Coaching change was mandatory. It was needed. I don't mind the hire. In terms of this game tonight, you did get a double revenge game. The Pacers did lose the last two games to the Hornets last year. They beat them in the first of a back-to-back sequence. Of course, last year, you guys remember, teams played 2 straight games against opponents in arenas to avoid COVID traveling issues and whatnot. But they did win the first one, and they lost the subsequent 2. I would lean Pacers for that reason, but we always talk about the line scaling. It is very important in professional basketball, much more so than college sports. This is the first time Charlotte has been laying in the environment in the last 4 matchups. The line is coming towards Charlotte. I can't take it for that reason as much as I would like to take Indiana here in a double revenge game.
Yeah, this line was up to 2, guys. It's actually coming down. We're seeing Pacers money this morning. I'm waking up. I'm seeing ones out there. So that means some money coming in on Pacers money line. I'm seeing it. I'll be honest with you guys. If I had to bet this game, I'd be on the Hornets. I know that Plumlee, my main thing, they got a new center over there. That's who they need to go up against Turner and Sabonis, because the last guy, Zeller, wasn't getting it done. I must say, no real center coming off the bench, but heavy lean the Hornets to me. We can't forget that the Pacers blew them out in that play-in game. I believe it was 144-117. So this is, in theory, a revenge spot where you have them, hey, look, you kicked us out of the playoffs, or you cost us a playoff spot. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, you're going to want to come back and win this game. My main thing with the Pacers, they will be better this year. Like, I don't think there'll be a bet on team early in the season. What I saw in the preseason is taking some time for them to get that's why I still watch preseason, because there's some things that you can learn. They're taking the time to get Carlisle's offense. So obviously he's going with a whole new offense over there, and it's a totally different style of play for them. For Miles Turner, for Sabonis, for all these guys. Brogdon's been banged up. He is going to play in this game, but they got some injuries over there as well, my guys. So it's crazy to say, but yesterday I was like, I lean Hornets. -2 here is down to 1. It's Hornets or nothing for me. I probably won't bet this game, but I actually like the Hornets in this game. And like I said, I think the Pacers, it'll be a little bit of a learning curve for their offense. I think the Hornets win this game. And if the Pacers don't, like, the Hornets have a high-flying offense. I'm not sure if the Pacers, like I say, right now have the continuity, especially with the new coach in their offense, to keep scoring pace with the Hornets. Pacers, better defensive team. Hornets, way better offensively, especially right now, in my opinion. And I like the pieces that they add as well. And Oubre, Ish Smith, they got Plumlee, actually have a center now. LaMelo Ball, Rozier, Hayward, PJ Watson, Plumlee. That's really a scary lineup, to be honest with you guys. Heavy lean Hornets for me. Let's get to the next game, man. It's a popular opinion. We got the Bulls versus Pistons here. This line was at 2.5 pretty much all summer, slowly but surely start to come up. Obviously, with the Bulls, like, people really watch the preseason and really overreact to it. The Bulls, like, they smacked everybody in the preseason, and then now it's people. I even got people DM me, "Hey, Bulls just 3.5. What's going on?" You know what I'm saying, Junior? What you think about this one? You think the line is short? I got people DM me saying this is easy.
Not short, no. I think once it went over 3, it lost all its value for the Bulls. If you got the Bulls at 3 or 2.5, I'm okay with that. But once you go get to 3.5 and up, all the value is on the Pistons side, in my opinion. If you know anything about the Pistons, even though I love to use the word continuity, and yeah, they have a history of losing, but they have a coach that's a no-nonsense guy that plays you based on the work that you put in, not the name on the back of your jersey. And I think with the fact that they haven't let him go in the offseason kind of shows you that they believe that he's the guy, maybe not to lead them to where they need to go, but at least to get them from where they are now to that next step, kind of like what he did with the Raptors when he first came on. They were a terrible team, and he built that organization to what they were, and then Nick Nurse led them to a championship, right? So I think that Dwayne Casey is a foundation builder. I think he's the type of guy that Cade Cunningham needs early in his career, because he's not going to take no shorts. And I think that the Pistons are probably a little bit better than people think, because, again, they don't have – listen, any team that has roster turnover, especially on the level that the Bulls have, I'm not laying points with them on the road. That, to me, it seems ridiculous that you would lay points. They were nice in the preseason. Congratulations. That's cute. I don't bet on preseason. I bet on regular season, and I'm interested in what's going to happen tonight. And even though I don't got money on it, if gun to my head, like we used to say on the show, I'm taking the Pistons plus the points.
You saying Dwayne Casey is a little Mark Jackson, huh? That's what I'm hearing. But Shark, what you think about this one, my guy? We got Bulls laying 5 on the road versus the Pistons.
Well, I just want to clarify, because this is the pilot episode with Junior. We went on here yesterday. This is the first big board. Shay Money, I have a question for you. Are you from Chicago?
No, but I would like to go.
Okay.
I heard they got them dispensaries and stuff, man. No, I'm not from Chicago. I guess you could say I'm a Bulls fan. I have socks for every NBA team, though, so just let that.
Just checking, because last year we bet on the Bulls all the time, and that's where I'm segueing this. We bet the Bulls when it's correct to bet the Bulls. It is not correct to bet the Bulls tonight. Junior made the comment, and this is a great point, and it is a standout point before I go into the numbers. When the roster turns over to this degree, it is a hard buy. Look at the Lakers last night. I had the Golden State Warriors for the same reason. This roster is not as aggressively turned over with the amount of personalities and egos as the Lakers, but it does have personality scatteredness. DeMar DeRozan is an enigmatic dude. He's a real emotional guy. And, when he left Toronto originally, he said he was really unhappy. He was depressed. He had a hard time getting his act together. And, now you see another move here. You combine Lonzo Ball, who, of course, is highly enigmatic from the standpoint of being underneath his father his whole life and his dad controlling the energy of that family so aggressively. So you get Lonzo Ball, you get DeMar DeRozan, you get my man Vucevic. You guys know I love his game, but I don't love his mental makeup. And it's just a funky group. And then you add on Alex Caruso, the pride of Texas A&M coming in there. There's just a lot of angles coming into this locker room. And then you look at the line, and the line is really important here because, again, guys, you don't beat the NBA because you take a good team on the smallest possible figure. It's not about finding a cheap price. It's understanding it's a line average to the expected outcome. Books are telling you a story here. So you go back to last year. Chicago beat Detroit by double digits in Detroit twice, 186 on a -3.5. And then it came up to -9, and they beat them by 12, 108-96 down the stretch in the campaign. So you get a double revenge game, 2 blowouts coming in here last year, and the line plummets against the previous line at 9 and both results. This is precisely what we look for when we take an underdog. We're taking Detroit +5 at home in official play from me.
Got you guys. I couldn't talk you off. Like I say, this is a tough. It's not necessarily a tough game. Like I say, guys, if you're betting the Bulls, you really are late to the party. It was at 2.5. It was at 3.5 for a while. These lines were up basically all summer. It's up to 5 now. Like I say, my thing here with the Bulls, they don't really have a lot of depth right now, in my opinion, until they really get some continuity going. Obviously, it is early in the season, even though they look good in preseason. I'm not betting them tonight. I must say, even in this game, though, it's still Bulls or nothing for me, but I don't always bet. Just because it's Bulls or nothing, they don't always mean I'm betting it. If I had to bet this game, I would be on Bulls, but I would also have been on them way earlier before the line moved so much. So, obviously, Pistons have more continuity. They are a seller team in the East. That doesn't mean that they can compete. They actually have a better bench right now than the Bulls, so I could see them staying in this game. I'm staying away from this one, though. I hope my guy cashes. Everyone is on the Bulls, and they, what I'm saying, they think that it's going to be easy. So usually when it's bets like that, I usually stay away from them. It's Bulls or nothing for me, just to lean, though, my guys. Let's go to the next game before my guy Junior gets out of here. It's one of the main reasons why I wanted you on here today, man. Raptors first game in Toronto in a while. They don't usually lose opening night games. You know what I'm saying? At the house, rocking crowd. I'll be honest. I mean, the line was at 3.5. It come down to 2.5 with some Bill, you know what I'm saying, questions about the knee. I think regardless here, Junior, I like the Raptors today. That's my best bet. Mine's 2.5. I got some Raptors. You'd be proud of me, Junior. Got some Raptors socks on. We the North today. What's up, bro? What we doing?
Well, first thing, I'm not ready to go, Jay. I might hang around for a couple more.
Let's fucking talk some Raptors, goddamn.
Yeah. I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna go off topic, so I'm gonna keep this mad short. I'm pissed off at the Raptors for personal reasons. I'm as you know, I moved to Florida last year, but I'm in Canada right now, so I'm around for the start of the season.
Oh,
yeah, but Raptors tickets are like the same price as like Knicks and like Laker tickets, son. Yo, y'all need to slow y'all roll, bro. I know you got a ring now. Y'all still the Raptors. I don't care who's sitting in the front row. I don't care if Drake and his whole team is in the front row. Better lower them prices, son. This shit's out of control. But nah, on a serious note, I don't have anything on this game because the Raptors are dedicated to playing this small ball lineup, and I don't know what this thing looks like. And also, people are not gonna like this opinion. I kind of think the Wizards might be better with Dinwiddie instead of Westbrook. Call me crazy. Yeah. I kind of think that Dinwiddie's game fits a little bit more Bradley Beal personally, and I think the Wizards might be a little undervalued here. So if I could get them at 3.5, I would have taken the Wizards. At this number, I'm staying away.
Junior, I'm sorry. You got to get out, though, bro. You got to go do whatever you got to do. I thought you was riding with me on the Raptors today. I mean, hey, you could be on something. Like I say, it's come down from 3.5 to 2.5. I don't think the Wizards team is ready. I'm with you. They'll be a little bit better, in my opinion. We talk about roster turnover. These guys have got a couple guys, even though they played together on the Lakers, they got 3 new guys who they're asking to play a lot of minutes, in my opinion. Gafford, pretty much like the best player over there right now. We can't forget, Dinwiddie's coming off an injury. He's not all the way there yet. His step isn't super quick as yet. Like in the middle of the season, I think the Wizards will be a lot better. They got Bill. They got some ballers over there. Kuzma, he's in theory should be playing with a chip on his shoulder. It's been underperforming so far. They got a little squad over there, but just know this Raptors team plays different. They're built different. And you talk about the small ball lineup, they have length. It's one thing. It's they seem like the guys are small, but these guys got arm length, they got length. These guys got trees out there, man. I like the Raptors. I like the direction that they're moving, in my opinion. And like I say, first home game, I think that it's going to be rocking in there. It's mainly a spot play. And, I mean, the roster backs it up as well, even the bench. So give me the Raptors here, -2.5, my guys. What you think, Shark?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I do lean Raptors here. Of course, you made all the points, but I mean, last year was the funkiest season they'll ever have playing in the middle of Florida. I mean, it just was out of body, out of mind. They did not come out well in the campaign at all. They made a little bit of a run throughout the season. Couldn't get there in the end. I think they finished, 10, 12 under 500, something like that. But now they're back home. And as Junior said, it is going down. I mean, this is an official city for basketball, obviously coming off a title a couple years ago. Prices are skyrocketing. Drake's there. It's going to be a huge event. I'll be blasting Drake. I'll be betting the Raptors, but I'm not doing it official. I'll tell you that. I'm going to be sprinkling Raptors here, and I'm going to be doing it for the spot take that Jay mentioned. You do come in here off a revenge game, which is a good point. 131-129 Washington in Tampa, a home game for the Raptors back in, I believe, April or May or whenever that was. This is going to be tight. However, I do suspect both of the last 2 games were 2-point games. The Raptors did win 103-101. And then Washington came back and won 131-129 on similar line figures, 4.5 and 2.5. So when the outcomes are at 2 points and the line barely moves off it, they're telling you the line was razor sharp and it's still razor sharp. So I think this is a small take for me, if anything, but definitely not official play.
And guess what? That the Wizards were rolling last year. Going into the playoffs, they were absolutely rolling. Like I'm talking about, they were playing better than any team in the league, pretty much, with Westbrook in there and that roster that they had. The Raptors, the exact opposite. They lost their last 7-8 games, starting with that overtime loss. I don't want to bring it up too much because Siakam had 44 in that game. He's not playing tonight, but still, I mean, call me crazy. I'm taking Scotty Barnes over Siakam anyway, right now. I know he had 44 in that game, but he's taking a huge step back. I like what Scotty Barnes. He's a kind of triple threat type of guy. I like Kim Birch. I know Chris Boucher is injured and might need him to be the backup, but I like what they're doing over there, man. Only really they got Dragic over there now, so yeah, I would probably bring him off the bench. But I must say, man, I like the spot for the Raptors today, -2.5. That's my top play, my guys. I thought Junior was gonna be more on board, but it's all good, my guys. One more, Junior, you still here? One more game. We got Celtics versus Knicks real quick. You want to talk about
I'm not going
Knicks?
nowhere, bro. I'm having too much fun with y'all. I love hearing y'all's opinions, honestly. So I'm not going nowhere, man.
Celtics Knicks, bro. The Knicks land 1.5. It was down. It was at 2. It's down to 1.5 now. In theory, you kind of have like the Kemba Walker revenge spot versus the Celtics. I do think the Celtics will be a lot better this year. Jaylen Brown is playing today. That's probably why the line's starting to come back a little bit. But I mean, personally, hey, this is another one. They're gonna be rocking. They can't wait for this home opener. Obviously, after getting put out in the first round of the playoffs last year, the Knicks did get better, made some upgrades at point guard, in my opinion. Still have their depth, still have their bench. This Knicks team is scary, and we got the Celtics with some turnover there, with some new pieces over there as well. So we talk about continuity. I think the Knicks definitely have the continuity here. If heavy lean for me, if I be betting this game, it would definitely be the Knicks. Junior, could you talk me out?
Nope, because I got Knicks first quarter at home, Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a madhouse in there. Y'all saw how gassed people in New York were for that series against Atlanta. Any type of success in New York. Look, the Knicks being a first-round team that overachieved made them significantly more popular than the Brooklyn Nets. That's a Knicks town. People in New York are desperate for something to cheer about. I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to win this game, but in the first quarter, I think the energy, Kemba back at home, he's been waiting to be there. It didn't work out for him on the Celtics. Not really his fault. His knees are just kind of giving out. I mean, realistically, when you look at this guy's career, when he was back at UConn and he got drafted, he's overachieved to make it as far as he has anyway. And I think in New York, they're never going to turn on him the way they did in Boston. And in Boston, I don't blame them for turning on him, right? You replace Kyrie with him, that was a downgrade. But in New York, it's all love. He's going to show that love back. Tibbs has got his system in place. They're a team on the upswing. I think Julius Randle will want to show out tonight after his disappointing, season. I know you saw the way his teammates reacted when he hit that game winner in a preseason game. So they're riding for him. I think everything about the Knicks looks positive. And on the flip side, again, it's not necessarily roster turnover. It's a turnover in culture. It's a major culture shock for Brad Stevens to not be the coach of the Boston Celtics. And I don't know what they look like. And with Jaylen Brown being questionable, it's Knicks or nothing for me. So I'm just going to ride the wave of the Knicks early in the first quarter.
He is playing. Jaylen Brown is in. That's why the line is likely moved down from 2 to 1.5. What you think, Sharp?
Well, I'm glad I don't have a full game then.
You got the Sharp. You got the I still think the Knicks gonna get this one done. In my opinion, because Jaylen Brown had been practicing. He just came off having COVID.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing the hat because I'm a huge Knicks fan. I'm from New York City, born and raised in Manhattan. I love the city. The pulse is back. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be watching this game, national game, ESPN. I hope everybody is, because this is a big comeback campaign for the world, and New York City showcases that to the highest degree. And I see you guys in New York. I love you. I respect you to the max. In terms of the game, it's tough for me to cap. I do think there's a lot of moving parts. Again, we made the comment about the Lakers. We made the comment about the Bulls. The Knicks do have some new pieces here. Obviously, Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker coming back home to Manhattan. It's going to be tough for me to cap. I don't like the number. The last time they played, it was -12. Of course, that was way later in the season against the G League roster the Celtics threw out there, but it is always accredited for and adjusted in the line. It's kind of short if you ask me by 2 or 3 points. I prefer the Knicks to be 4.5, 5. I think they're telling you that the Celtics are essentially one of the most unpredictable teams to bet in the league. You saw it last year, quarter to quarter. They are smoking hot, then they're ice cold, then all of a sudden down a stretch to 1-point game out of nowhere. Jason Tatum, I love his game, but I got to question his mental makeup a little bit. He coasts games really, really aggressively, and then all of a sudden turns up in the fourth quarter for 20 points. I'd like to see a little more burn from this guy out of the get. I think Ime Udoka could juice that up. I said it all last year. Brad Stevens did not inspire me within the locker room with these guys. I think there will be a really nice reboot for this group, and I think the younger group coming together without a guy like Kemba Walker, who is 6, 7, 8 years older than some of these guys, I think they're going to come together more. But I do think they're unpredictable, and this game is hard for me to cap.
No, I'm with you on that. It is definitely the line tells it. This is one of the most toss-up games of the day where they're saying Pacers and Hornets as well. But this is one 2 really good teams, in my opinion, to possibly bet on teams. It's Knicks or nothing for me here. Obviously, like you say, there's some roster turnover here with players and the coaches. So that's even bigger, at least with the Knicks. And I mean, they showed even in preseason, like they just play hard. No matter who's out there, they play to win. They play and get defense as well. They could their defense is like playing on the string. Everyone's connected. Everyone's talking. So and Fournier just came from the Celtics as well. Maybe him and Kemba want to stick it to them boys or something. But we know, Boston, they got a new point guard over there. Smart's running the point guard now, so be interesting how that happens. Schroeder coming off the bench with a huge chip off his shoulder, but I really want to see how Marcus Smart running predominantly the point guard out there, how his ball handling is, especially with that Knicks defense. So I'm obviously not scared of Kemba Walker, but they have some defenders, especially like with Barrett. You know what I'm saying? They got some defenders coming out the bench. It's a tough game, man. Definitely toss up. These are games that I watch just as a fan, just as entertainment. But I would lean to the Knicks there, especially open game at the house. There are 2 even type teams. I give the lean towards the Knicks. And like I say, Jaylen Brown coming off COVID, they won't have Al Horford out there. Jaylen Brown hasn't been practicing, even though he'll play today. My guy's a baller. He is a baller, man. So I'm going to keep asking you, Junior. I know you got something to do, bro. It's up to you, man.
No, I'm good. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay. Like I said, I don't have anything on Cavs, Grizzlies. That's a tough game there, man. Just real quick, like I could see the Cavs possibly covering that game. I think the Grizzlies are a little bit too overvalued in this particular game because they got a whole new center over there. They don't have Valanciunas, their dog. Shark's cousin. They don't have him over there. They got Steven Adams over there. Dylan Brooks is still out, if I'm not mistaken. So I can't lay 7.5 with the Grizzlies right now. I'd actually lean. I want to lean to the Cavs. They got a lot of shit going on too, Shark. Any quick words on this one?
Yeah, this is your ultimate toss. Out of conference, highly uninspiring spot for Memphis. Memphis obviously comes in here off of a nice back door of the season last year. They came out last year really poorly. They were 2-6 the first 8 games. I think that will be ripe in their mind, regardless of how uninspiring the Cavs might be as an opponent. The line is all over the Grizzlies, too. The Cavs played them, interestingly enough, pretty tight last year. The Cavs beat them outright once. And then the other game was, I believe, like a 2-point cover for Memphis. So Memphis did not show up against the Cavs last year, which, again, could be ripe in their mind. Like, we came out 2-6 to start the season last year, and we get a team that competed well against us last year. So this is not just a total laydown spot. And the number is connecting with it. The highest line they laid last year was 5.5, and this comes up to 7.5. Nothing official. I would lean Memphis here. Again, probably sharp. If you remember last year, a lot of Memphis home games were razor sharp figures. They covered by 1 to 2 points on those numbers.
Got you. Yeah, my guy in the chat said he likes the over. Both of these teams like to push the pace. Couldn't talk anyone out of that as well. I know the Cavs, something they're really trying to do this year is push the pace. Push. I can see it. Like I say, maybe I can understand them. And we see it coming down. It was at 8. You see it coming down to 7.5. I think if they had a full squad with Dylan Brooks out there, possibly be a different thing. He is one of their ballers, their defensive stopper as well, and their dog. And like I say, not sure how Steven Adams really going to work over there. Now they don't have an offensive big. He's pretty much out there for defense and rebounding pretty much. So can't wait to see what happens with this one. I'll be watching a lot of these games, especially with new players, just seeing how people fit. Next game up, 76ers versus the Pelicans. Oh boy, the 76ers got so much shit going on, man. I'm really tired of talking about the Simmons thing. He got kicked out of practice yesterday. Then Embiid saying, look, I don't even want to deal with this guy, man. Got a soap opera going over there, man. What you, Junior, what we doing? Your boy Simmons, man. What's up with these guys, man?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you real quick. 76ers Pelicans, you said?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Listen, we one of the things with capping any sport is that you kind of got to pay attention to the narrative surrounding teams. Obviously, unless you just don't like the NBA, you know what's going on with the Sixers, right? They basically set Ben Simmons up so that they could suspend him and not have to you know what? I'm not even going to get. They set him up. If you don't know that they set him up, you're not paying attention. Ben Simmons didn't do nothing wrong. He went there, and if Morey wasn't so cheap, he would have just realized, like, listen, I'm going to have to sell this dude for 50 cents on the dollar and just keep it moving and bite that bullet. And he doesn't want to do that, so now they are where they're at. I can't bet on a team with this narrative. Obviously, New Orleans was without Zion, but again, another one of those roster turnover things. Willie Green, they say he's a player's coach. Okay, well, they said that about Jason Kidd when he was in Milwaukee. How did that work out? So until I see what Willie Green's about, until I see the Pelicans' attitude change, because, Jay, we talked about this a lot last year. The Pelicans kind of quit early on in the season. Their whole body language, their attitude, everything was just wrong about them. And me personally, I can't pretend that I don't know that. I can't pretend that I don't know that they play when they feel like it. They're not exactly professionals. They're a lot of these guys are really young and still learning to be professionals. And look at that roster. Who's teaching them to be professionals? Maybe it's Willie Green. But again, I got to see that before I believe it. So I'm off the Pelicans and the Sixers until further notice.
Got you. Shark, what you think about this one, my guy?
Well, it's my official number 2, 12:22 p.m. Eastern. We are taking the Pelicans +4. Junior said it. Philadelphia is in complete disarray, and that is an understatement, actually. I think that this franchise has gone off the rocker. You go back to the series last year against Atlanta. They should have won the series. They laid down. Ben Simmons had an apocalyptic professional collapse. I mean, he's missing layups, he's airballing layups. He looked like he was dazed, confused, any way you want to put it. But there's more to it than that. The Pelicans last year, of course, Stan Van Gundy's gone. Willie Green's in. I think that's a good thing for them. I think Stan Van Gundy was far too rigid and old world, a very young roster. I think Willie Green is exactly what they need. So I think you will see a jolt point in terms of their efficiency and their competitiveness from that standpoint. And number 2, I like the line. When Philly went into New Orleans last year, Philly did lose the game, 101-94, but they were laying 5 points. And again, you get a revenge spot on the road here for Philly. And again, if it was adjusted for Philly to really come in here and throttle them, it would be holding at 5, even coming up to 5.5, 6. It's moving down to 3.5, and it's getting steamed up by almost exclusively Public Action, who cannot comprehend taking an underdog in this environment. You do look at the Pelicans. They have a lot of young guys, but I like the mental makeup of these guys. I like my man Devontae Graham coming over here from the Hornets. The guy is a walking heat check when he wants to be. Alexander Walker, a real upstart player. I like some of the guys in the second unit, Jackson Hayes, Trey Murphy out of Virginia. I think it's a professional group. And, Junior, you said a player's coach. What does a player's coach need? They need professional players. And I think, obviously, Zion's out, but these are professional players. I like the makeup of these guys. They got rid of Lonzo Ball and the circus of his dad and the whole thing. I think it's a much more centered group. And I like how they're centering around a younger core. I always talk about this, generations. A lot of guys under 25 on this roster, the proper coach for it, and the number connects with it. I think Philly's in disarray. I think the Pelicans could win this game outright.
Hey, Jay, not to interrupt you, I got to jump off.
Go ahead.
Sharky, I know you kind of like them though because they got your man Vooch though, but I mean not Vooch, Valanciunas. Sorry about that. No, I'm just playing. But thank you for bringing me on. I will do this every single day if I'm available. Love working with y'all. Thanks for all the love to everyone in the chat. I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
Appreciate you, Junior. My guy. Yeah, that's a sharp look, bro. Yeah, I appreciate Junior coming on, man. A lot of people DM me was asking me because I did the show with Kyle yesterday. They're like, man, where Junior at? I'm like, man, he's still here, bro. But I must say, bro, like it's Pelicans or nothing for me here. A lot of people on the 76ers, are they a better put together team or have more continuity? Yes, but they do have a lot of distractions right now. And it could be, you could say the same thing about the Nets right now. Pretty much they got a couple of players that's super disgruntled or not playing for various reasons. And it's that they're having to answer questions about it every single day. It's starting to take a toll. You see Joel Embiid, he looks beat. So there's one side of me that says they want to go out here and win and show that they don't need men, but they also have a lot of extracurricular things going on, and they don't have Shake Milton as well. They end their backup point guards out. So I'm not sure if Tyrese Maxey's ready to take the helm. In theory, right now, like I say, they have more continuity, pretty much the same squad as last year, but it's still Pelicans are nothing for me here. It's mainly because of the distractions. The Pelicans are a home team. They did have a very underperforming preseason as well. So that's all the more reason why they want to get the season started off right. I do think Willie Green is a player's coach, and I think that he will get these guys to buy in. Maybe not to start off, but at some point in the season, I think the Pelicans really will take a stride. I like what they did here. I like what they did with the Valanciunas, Devontae Graham. They still need to shore up their bench even a little bit, but they will help once Zion comes back. And obviously, he'll be starting playing a lot of minutes. So and that's really when they'll get to have some bet on spots.
Yeah, one final point on this. This is also outside of all these elements. And I tell people in the chat saying no Zion. Guys, that's a good thing. If the line is moving against Philly and Zion is out, they're telling you the story is even stronger for the disarray of Philly. And the final point, this is also a trap spot. Philly opens on the road out of conference against a Zion-less Pelicans team. And then their home opener is on Friday night at home against Brooklyn in a national game. So we get an auto trap spot to open the season here. It's just a tough buy on Philly in all formats.
Exactly. Yeah, this line was up to 4.5. It started to come back down to 3.5 once Ingram, because there was some questions about Ingram possibly not playing this game. He did get ruled in. That's when you see the money start to come back on the Pelicans here. Still no Zion, my guys, but it's still a winnable game for the Pelicans for sure. Nothing for me on T-Wolves Rockets. Maybe look towards the over in that one. I know the money's coming on the Wolves. I'm staying away from that game. Need to see how the Rockets how they fare, in my opinion. But let's see. Magic Spurs. I'll tell you this. I think the Spurs will be bad this year. The Magic will as well, but I'm not laying 6.5 with the Spurs as two pretty much bad teams.
I have a prediction on that one.
Oh, well, go ahead. What you like, my guy?
Orlando Magic plus 6.5.
Why are the Spurs laying 6.5, bro?
It's the shortest line the Spurs have laid against the Magic at home in 15 years or more. They are telling you a great story here. The Spurs are in disruption right now. Obviously losing DeRozan, a lot of young guys. Pop, obviously not the guy that's going to juice his guys up for the opener. He is the ultimate load management style coach. And you see what's going on here with the Magic. Jamal Mosley coming in here, an assistant with the Mavericks. Obviously, the Mavericks did reinvent their entire staff with Carlisle going to Indiana. We'll talk about that tomorrow as the Mavs open up at the Hawks. Hell of a game on national TV. But when the Magic come in here at plus 6.5, I mean, this is just a short figure. And again, we are data deficient to a degree. It is opening night. So we're doing our absolute best to cap this. But when I looked at the board, the three numbers that really stood out to me were Detroit, Orlando, and New Orleans. And you do kind of look at what's going on here. Again, the Magic with Jamal Mosley, same type of thing. Young players coach, definitely kind of connects with the group a little bit better. Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga coming in here. Mo Bamba finally balling. A little bit of issue with Jonathan Isaac, obviously. The COVID. He's making a lot of different remarks on that. I'm not going to go into that, but I think this group is due for an uptick, and I just think this is an ultimate trap spot with the Spurs opening up in this spot. And the number connects with it, so I'm taking plus 6.5 Orlando Magic official.
Yeah, I can't talk you off that. I don't think the Spurs should be laying this many points. Maybe like they may get to the team where they shouldn't be laying points to anybody pretty much. So that's how I'm looking at it. And I think the Magic will be a little bit better in my opinion. So I can't talk to you. I might ride with you on that one. I like it. I must say I like that one. Let's get to this next one, man. We got the Jazz versus laying 13 versus the Thunder, man. What you think about this one? We know the Jazz 3-and-D, they like to shoot a lot of threes. I'd be looking at some props in this one for Jazz players, guys like Conley, guys like Royce O'Neal. That's all they're out there to do is mainly shoot threes. Mainly Royce O'Neal. He's like a Tim Hardaway Jr. He's not going to the hole. He's shooting threes. It's what he does. He'll get up at least 5 attempts a game, my guys. So definitely look towards that. The Jazz, you can really hit some 3-point props. Guys like Ingles as well, Jordan Clarkson. That's all they do is shoot threes. That's just this Jazz team. What you think about this one, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough spot. I would lean the Jazz if I had to. I'm just not taking OKC here. And again, the Jazz showcased last year just incredible covering ability at home, even against bad teams. And I do think, even though they were so hot last year, the way they exited the playoffs against the Clippers, Donovan Mitchell was hobbling up and down the court. They underachieved versus what their record in the regular season suggested. I think that was obviously a lot of sharp angles suggesting they would not make the finals. But regardless of that, I think that they come back here and they find motivation. This is not the same thing where if they went on to win the title, they come out here flat. They got they got beat up in the playoffs. So I think they'll come out here, again, nothing official, but I would lean Jazz if I had to.
Got you. Some guys in the chat, somebody like Eric Jones likes the under in their game. 420 Fuego says Jazz Smack City. Steven says he likes Jazz first half full game, my guy. So, good luck on that, my guys. It's not something I'm on. Obviously, I can see the Thunder may still be another bottom feeder, but right now they're not resting their guys and tanking. So they just take that what it's worth. They like SGA, Dort. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be playing in this type of game. I actually lean OKC, but I'm not playing it. There's no way in hell I'm playing it. Because the Jazz just like to smash people. Let's go to. We got 2 more games. Kings, Trailblazers. The Trailblazers be laying 6, bro. Like, what are we doing? I know they, in theory, got some continuity. Total new coach, and it's just like with the Pacers. He's changing the whole offense. Not saying that they won't be better. It won't work at some point. But to begin the season, it's a lot of growing pains, in my opinion, especially when the other team has their offense down. They know what they want to do. Kings playing a little bit more defense this year as well. Got guys like Davion Mitchell coming off the bench. They even got Thompson coming off the bench as well. So they got actually some little depth now for the Kings. Are you ready to lay 6 with the Blazers? Are they back, Dame and the boys? What are we doing, Shark?
Nothing official here. Of course, big board really centered on the top 3 plays. But if I did have to take anything here, well, actually, I wouldn't take anything here, if I'm just being honest. I think this is razor sharp. I think 6 is razor sharp. You look at last year, the 2 games between these 2 teams, you had 132, 126. Obviously, that is 6. And you had 123, 119. That is 4. It's kind of like a couple of the other games where I said the same outcomes from last year are the line this year. This is going to hover right around it. I think this is going to be one of the hardest games to beat against a number. I think you're going to be coin flipping against 1 or 2 points down the stretch here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It's Kings. I lean Kings there, my guys. It's Kings are nothing for me. It was up to 6.5. It's back down to 6. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I lean Kings, my guys. Obviously, it's early in the season. Me personally, I go with the plays that I love, and I live with the results. You see what I'm saying? But I definitely we go in here. We say if I say it's a lean or something, I'm saying hey, I like for it, but I'm not putting my money on it. So. Yeah. So I'm definitely not betting every game on the board. It's just not me. But we'll come and talk about the games. Last game up, Nuggets versus Suns. Can't wait to watch this one, man. I'll tell you this. It won't be many times that I bet against the Suns this year. They're just one of those teams that they're wired mentally different. They play hard every single possession, diving on the floor. They got some other pieces over there as well that's going to help them out as far as their depth. I actually lean Nuggets here, but I'm not playing. It's going to be a tough game. I'm not betting against the Suns. There won't be many games. There may be like 2 spots all year that I'll bet against the Suns. That's how, seriously, they're going to boat race this regular season once again. They're just built differently, and they got a lot to prove. I lean Nuggets here, but lean Nuggets, my guys.
Yeah, I mean, you do get the revenge spot here off the playoffs. Of course, they got swept convincingly 4-0 in the second round by the Suns. But again, I look at the number, this 6, and actually zooming out. I mean, I've been capping the NBA in a really serious manner now professionally, but for 12 to 15 years. I remember even in the very early stages of my career looking at numbers, I always just was saying to guys, 6 is a death zone number. Like, you don't want to be on a 6, particularly as a favorite. But the 6 is like the sharpest number in the sport, pretty much.
5 and 6. I would say like between that 5.5, 6. You're right.
6 is just that number. It's just you're just gambling. And I think what you're looking at here is the number is really sharp. Because you go back to that series, there were a couple tight ones, but I don't think you can really correlate this to last year really in any format. I think we're really confused here to a certain degree with how Phoenix is going to come out this year. As you said, Phoenix is beyond focused always because of Chris Paul. But off of losing the finals, that is your ultimate letdown spot coming out in the early campaign. Losing the finals, even more so than winning the finals. Of course, Giannis and the boys stood up last night, but Giannis is a unique individual. But I do think the Nuggets would have more motivation in this spot tonight if I had.
Yep, and it's just early season, but in theory, you do kind of got the Suns aren't really the type of team that look ahead, but they do have the Lakers on deck. So whatever that's worth, we just see what happens. It's Nuggets or nothing for me in this particular game. Like I say, it would take obviously they don't have Jamal Murray. They still have the rest of the guys even more healthy than they did. Like I think they could have held a little bit better against the Suns if they had some of their guards, whatever. So let's see what happens here. But it's Nuggets or nothing for me. I'm sure it may go up to 6.5. I may add something on that one later. Like I say, I'm gonna go sit at the spot, get back into the tune, everything. If anything, if I make some more plays, and I'll go live from the car, man. But I'm definitely on the Raptors -2.5, my guys, for a lot of reasons. Like I say, just real quick to let you know I'm on it. Just some little inside info. Bill's kind of banged up right now. His knee. It was a question that he might not play here. I was hoping that he did because I don't want that let down spot and the line would have shot up. Bill is in, but just know, hey, the Raptors even played these guys in the last preseason game. Wizards played all their guys. Raptors rested OG and Van Fleet. They still came all the way back to win that game. They just play harder. They play a lot better, stronger defense than the Wizards do, and I think it'll show fruition. That was preseason where they weren't even taking it serious. Now we got regular season game, opening night at the house. I think that place will be rocking. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the Raptors trifecta this shit tonight. I think they're going to start out hot, and I think they'll keep it on the Wizards. I don't see a backdoor of them coming back in this one. Like I say, the defense is sticky. The arms are long. These guys play really tough defense. And they go after every loose ball, every rebound, and they got some balls over there. Raptors actually trying to build something, coming off a very uninspiring year. Wizards coming off the exact opposite, a year where they really caught fire late in the year. A lot of roster turnover, new coach as well, a lot of moving parts over there. Give me the Raptors -2.5 with a lot to prove, my guys. Heavy lean to Hornets -1 at the house, and after that, I want to say heavy lean Knicks, but I'm gonna stay off that one. So if I had top 3 plays, it would be Raptors, then Hornets, then Knicks. But I'm only going with the Raptors so far, -2.5 top play. Let's cash it. Shark, what you like?
3 officials. We are going to the home locker room in Detroit. We're fading the Bulls' new roster group. I think there's a lot of personalities that have yet to mesh. Obviously, Vucevic coming over there midseason last year, Lonzo Ball, and the whole package of the family and whatever goes on with that. And DeMar DeRozan, a perpetually enigmatic player. I talked about it before for those who didn't hear it. He was a short number at each time. And ultimately, the Spurs winning 7.5 in San Antonio. So when it's 7.5 and you win by 27, and then the next average in the same stadium the following year comes down against the outcome and the line, they're telling you a new environment exists. Orlando's really sharp look, +6.5. And the final take, we're fading the 76ers, who are in complete disarray. I think the Pelicans are a great look here. It's a short line. Pelicans did beat them last year at home. The line's coming against Philly from previous outcomes. And again, Philly has a look-ahead spot. They have a home opener on Friday. Opponent to open the team.
You still there, Short? Yeah, nah, it's just a little short. My connection actually went out. I hope everybody in the chat, let us know if you hear us, man. If you can, just recap the 3 plays real quick, my guys. Fuck, man, still there. I think it's my connection. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. No, I can hear you now. Just say the 3 plays, the 3 top plays. Yeah, I can hear you. We're back.
Okay. Pelicans plus 3.5. Excuse me, plus four. Orlando plus 6.5, and Detroit plus 5.
Got you. Raptors for me, heavy lean Hornets, lean Bulls, lean Knicks, lean Magic, lean the Thunder, lean the Nuggets, my guys. Raptors for me by double digits, my guys. Top play of the day. I got the socks on as well. Over 350 people watching, man. I really appreciate you guys. Hit the like button if you can. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications. The way you know every single time I'm going live. It's my guy. Go and follow him on Twitter. Definitely got to go and follow him on Twitter at Shark and Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet, guys. That's the only thing that we ask for is if you can, just please retweet. I don't even care if you hit the like on Twitter. Hit the like on here. Please retweet on Twitter. I do this show live, going restream it on Twitter as well, like an hour before the game start, guys. So if you're catching the show later, we'd love to do it for you guys. The only thing we ask for is get some retweets. Let's try to get 50 retweets on Twitter, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's cash some tickets. It's us against the bookies. Go and follow us on Twitter, and let's cash out, my guys. Got to bounce back today, guys. We out.